Ye. Otherwise known as one of the greatest musical influences in history. And while Kanye is notorious for his impact on the music industry, he is also just as notorious for his controversial statements.
But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
I just told you who I thought I was, a god.
It was a Jewish doctor.
Most pop culture icons would be permanently canceled after these numerous controversial statements, but not Kanye. A year after his infamous interview with Alex Jones going on an anti-Semitic rant, he drops his latest album, Vultures, which topped as #1 on Billboard's Hot 100. But this makes you wonder, why? Why is his music #1 after his anti-Semitic comments? Why do artists still call him the GOAT? Why is Ye invincible? Well, the real reason that Kanye can't be canceled goes back to his childhood. Also, before we get started, I just want to make it clear that I do not support any of the anti-Semitic statements that Kanye has made in the past. I'm just making this video to explain why he still has such a large cult following. A big reason there are so many die-hard Kanye fans is because of his humble yet kind of normal beginnings. Kanye Omari West was born on June 8th, 1977 in Atlanta, Georgia, but was raised in Chicago, Illinois. Kanye was raised by his single mother, Donda, who was the department chair for the arts at Chicago State University. Kanye eventually went to the same college and dropped out after 1 year to pursue his dream: music. In the mid-1990s, West began his music production career, crafting beats for artists such as D-Dot and Foxy Brown, ultimately leading him to being a producer and songwriter for Rockefeller Records, where he made songs for artists such as Jay-Z, Alicia Keys, and Janet Jackson. Back in the 90s, a lot of rappers were notorious for their life of crime. Jay-Z was a drug dealer before fame. Eazy-E was involved in gangs before the NWA. Same goes for Tupac, who was associated with the Bloods. So it was fairly rare for this middle-class Christian rapper to become one of the most successful music icons in history. It was also one of few times a producer had a solo rap career. At the time, it was very difficult for a producer to have a solo rap career, but Kanye broke through this adversity and eventually signed to Rockefeller as a recording artist and created The College Dropout, which was nominated for 10 Grammys and won for Best Rap Song and Best Rap Album. Kanye's atypical background and music career eventually led him to creating a whole new generation of artists. He created good music, discovering artists such as John Legend, Kid Cudi, Big Sean, Travis Scott, and many more. Not to mention the mainstream artists that he influenced, such as Chance the Rapper and Drake. There are many mainstream rappers who still stand by Kanye even after his controversy to this day.
Go rapper.
To me, Kanye. To me, I know that's controversial, but I feel like we would not have any of the rappers we have now without him.
Nowadays, many rappers who have successful rap careers started out as producers because Kanye broke that mental chain. On top of his cultural impact in the music industry, a big reason people still support Kanye is because he refuses to be silent and stands up for what he believes in, which is not always a good thing. But throughout his music career, Kanye spoke up many times about discrimination within the music and fashion industry. He wrote songs such as New Slaves, Black Skinhead, and Never Let Me Down, which talk about modern day racism. Probably his most notorious outcry for racial justice when Kanye participated in a live telethon to raise money for Hurricane Katrina and said this:
"The destruction of the spirit of the people of southern Louisiana and Mississippi may end up being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about black people."
His comment was out of frustration towards the neglectful response of the government's attention with Hurricane Katrina, which primarily affected a lot of black communities in New Orleans. You can see this again when he interrupted Taylor Swift in 2009 during the VMAs.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
On the surface, it does appear that Kanye spoke up because he believed Beyonce had the best female video of that year, but many argue that this was another outcry for racial injustice in the music industry. Kanye's controversial opinions about racial injustice, like I said, not always a good thing, is a big reason he has a cult following. You can see this with other figures who have a massive cult following, such as Trump and Joe Rogan. People tend to gravitate towards controversial figures because it makes them feel heard. A lot of controversial opinions are in the minority because they're not as accepted. So leaders such as Kanye help give people with the same opinion a voice. And finally, one of the biggest reasons that Kanye is invincible is because he's not afraid to be vulnerable and show his humanity. People tend to give Kanye grace because at times when he is controversial, it is usually during difficult moments in his life. Hear me out. In 2009, when Kanye interrupted Taylor Swift after her VMA win for Best Female Video, it was known that Kanye's mother recently died. And most Kanye stans know that he was extremely close with his mom. I mean, he named 2 albums after her. He was also going through a breakup with his girlfriend at the time, Amber Rose. And the most incredible part about this story is after the VMAs, he knew he had to get away. So he flew to Hawaii and wrote arguably his magnum opus, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. From this historically controversial moment, Kanye birthed one of the greatest albums of all time, explaining what he was dealing with at the time. Other instances of this occurred, such as in 2017 when he started endorsing Trump and said slavery is a choice.
For 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all?
Which occurred at the same time he was diagnosed as bipolar, leading to him dropping Ye, which addresses his mental health issues and difficulties with the media. Or when he went on those anti-Semitic rants in 2022, but then watched 21 Jump Street and realized he loved Jonah Hill, so he made an apology in Hebrew. But this also happened at the same time during his divorce with Kim Kardashian, ultimately leading to Kanye taking another hiatus and releasing his latest album with Ty Dolla $ign, Vultures. The album dives into his life after being blasted by publicity and a lot of friends and families distancing themselves from him, leaving only yes men and people who want him for his money. Now, this controversial moment is definitely not excusable. However, with every controversial moment, there's a deeper meaning reflecting his current life struggles, thus conveying that message in his music, overall reflecting his humanity. Kanye can't be canceled because of his authenticity. With YouTubers such as Sam Solik and Emma Chamberlain, it has become very apparent that audiences of these influencers value authenticity, which is a big reason so many people love Kanye. Many people within the music industry tend to lack this transparency, which Kanye could do a little bit more. But through his transparency, Kanye has more success with developing a cult following. Of course, he has changed the music and fashion industry in many innovative ways, but it was also his relatable underdog story and his bravery to vocalize his values and his vulnerability in the public eye. Kanye is definitely not a perfect person, but same goes for everyone else on this planet. We tend to put celebrities on a pedestal, giving them a godlike status, ridiculing them for their smallest mistakes, and celebrities who are more transparent, like Kanye, tend to have a more dedicated following because it is easier for us to see their humanity. Like I said, I'm not trying to justify Kanye's past actions, but I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents and say why he's invincible to cancel culture. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hit the like, slap the sub, and
give us 3 things that are hairy. Balls, balls, balls.
till next time, folks. Peace.